Welcome to Elemental War of Magic Let's Play. This is my first Let's Play, and this is just the standard game. I had made a video before this, but it was corrupted and I cannot use it, so starting here on Calalification, and this is my first time doing this, so whatever. But this game came out, Elemental War of Magic came out on the 24th of August, which for me is like a few days ago. It's very new. Still got a lot of bugs as such, but it is very cool. It's a kind of a hybrid between RPG and 4X strategy, similar to Here's Might and Magic. So it is not exactly the most innovative thing ever, but it is very cool. The way the game is played is that you have a sovereign, or king, although if you are on another side than kingdom, it could be emperor, and that sovereign is your main character. They have various statistics, abilities. They start out with the ability to cast magic for one, which makes them unique in the lore of Elemental War of Magic, because magic was locked away for most people in centuries past, and so the channelers, as they are called, are the ones who can use magic to bend reality to their will. And if I zoom in here, I'll show you here what this looks like. This is a standard kingdom city. The two main allegiances, or factions as they're called in the game, are the kingdom and empire. Empires are the sort of evil faction. They're the ones who have sided with the corrupted humans known as the Fallen. Although technically only one empire actually is part of the Fallen. The other side, the one that I'm playing as, is called the Kingdom. They are, or rather, one of the kingdoms. They are sort of the good guys. They have a much higher focus on your civilization as a whole. The Imperial factions tend to be more oriented towards just individual champion combat style guys. So your sovereign would be a big deal to a fallen guy, whereas it's not, I mean, still a big deal to a kingdom, but it's not as big a deal to this one. The kingdom I'm playing as is called Capitar. I picked them because, well, number one, they're purple, and I like that color, and two, Capitar gets a bonus to their research and their production. 10% bonus to both. So instead of having just 2 research points, as it shows here, I have 2.20. That doesn't seem like a lot now, but it helps out a lot when you start to have more cities. One interesting thing about this game is you don't just research technology, you also research spells. So you produce arcane knowledge and regular knowledge, or worldly knowledge, to research both of these. Right now I'm researching a spell called Chain Lightning. It's an air spell, as you'll notice here, and it's basically just an area of effect spell that can do damage up to my caster's intelligence. In other words, up to my sovereign's intelligence, because I have no other casters. My sovereign, I called Jackie. He has currently got 1 enchantment, which means he has a permanent spell out of his spell book here, known spells. He has 1 spell that has to be maintained. It doesn't cost any mana to maintain, but you can only have a certain number of enchantments at a time. So I've casted Nature's Ally, which summons a great bear to do my bidding. That's the bear right there. The reason I cast that spell is because it's very cheap. You can get it right at the beginning of the game, and it's also, the bear is incredibly powerful compared to most standard units at the level 1 beginning of the game. So it helps a lot when you're exploring. As you can see from the cloth map, which is the zoomed out overlay on the regular map. I have already explored quite a bit. From my perspective, it looks like we are in the middle of a very large desert that is slowly becoming not a desert anymore, but on a continent, sort of like Central America. But as my cities grow and increase their influence, this desert will become nice and green because I'm a kingdom and I'm spreading life magic to the surrounding area. My sovereign's currently stationed in my second city here, which is called Ones or Ones. The only reason I built that city there is because it has an air shard. Shards are a very important part of this game because they're a resource that you gather, and every shard you have contributes to your ability to cast that type of spell. So Lightning Strike is an air spell, and so because I have one air shard, it will do an extra damage added on to the maximum intelligence of my character. And I'm not sure whether it's like arithmetic or exponential growth, but it's very helpful nonetheless. The other thing that I'm currently glad I started by is a crystal foundry. Well, it's actually crystal crag. I built a foundry on top of it. This enables me to get crystal. And I'm only getting one per turn, but since I'm not actually using any of that, it's going to build up over time, and that'll be very good for later. At the top, though, here's a resource overview. It shows you how many shards you have and what variety they are. There are 4 main elements: fire, earth, water, and air. Then there's metal. There's also a few other resources that I don't have, but metal, which is produced from mines, that enables you to build things like armor, weapons, etc. Materials, which is produced from workshops and buildings like it. Also some resources produce it, but that enables you to build city buildings and some units or unit upgrades. You have crystal, which enables you to get essentially enchanted items later on. Then food, which food is the basis upon which your cities grow, because a city has only got a certain population limit. As you can see here, here, it's capped at 10 due to housing shortage. The reason that there's a housing shortage is because I don't have enough money, but also I'm not going to have enough food to upgrade the city. A hut increases your population cap per city by 25. And one hut would enable me to level up that city, but by the time that my city finishes building a merchant, it will have used another food, and by the time this city gets its next hut up, then this one will not be able to. So we'll have to increase that by other means. Lastly, you have Gildar, which is probably the most important resource in the game. I don't know why they didn't bother just calling it gold, because it's clearly gold. It's extracted from gold mines, but whatever. I'm currently making 2 per turn, which is very, very little. Gildar is used to build buildings, various unit upgrades, to research, to build and train various types of units, and to pay their wages. It's also used to recruit various adventurers from your surroundings, adventurers or heroes as your level merits, and can be used in diplomatic negotiations. So Gildar is incredibly important. Luckily, I have started somewhere near a gold deposit, so that's good. But those are the main resources that I have right now. Once other ones pop up, I'll talk about them as well. This is the sort of the, I guess it'd be like the identification menu. It tells you everything that's happening I only have one city event, so it's displaying it automatically, but if there were to be like 3 or 4 events in a turn, it'd have a little 3 or 4 down there, and, ooh, well, I guess the turn just advanced on me, and it would, I'd have to click on it to expand it. Here is similar to how Sins was done. The city overlay, you can expand it to see the individual units and buildings there. And once you start getting armies and stuff, there will be overlays for them as well. So that is kind of the basic thing. Oh, actually, 2 more things. This tells you the turn that we're currently on. Now it says 78, but that cannot be right. It's only been like 15 turns. 15. So, as I said, this game is rather buggy at the moment. I can show the minimap there. Just gives you an idea of, on the world map, where you are. And to me, it kind of feels like this is South America or something. I did meet another civilization, but it is a kingdom neutral civilization, which means that it's not able to be negotiated with. You can conquer it, but it's not going to be any threat anytime soon. It's like a minor civilization if you've played Galactic Civilizations. So they're not that important. A big part of the game is obviously going out and finding quests and doing things with your sovereign. And you can see those on your world map. For instance, this ancient fortress would have a quest that I could do there. Alright, I just took a break to go examine the video quality to make sure it wouldn't corrupt like the first one. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video as soon as we reach this ancient fortress and get a quest or encounter there. Oh, our capital just grew a level, so we're gonna pick Gildar, because that's the most important resource for now. And also, I don't think the other ones are working right at this point in the game yet. Cool. Alright, so we will get that silver flute next time on Let's Play Elemental War of Magic. Yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it at that, and see you next time.